There was a time I also had 4 cars doing Ubers, but then I got broke, being a woman and then you're managing men, it started becoming a challenge. I've always trusting myself in starting. So I said, let me go home and start again with the belief that whatever that I've built in South Africa, I can as well build it here at home. I've noticed quite a very huge number of Zimbabweans, especially men, committing suicide because of depression. Sometimes they've got families, they've got black taxi, they've got a lot of things to take care of. My brother made me buy beers for them to cut this part for me.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm excited because I'm in the Maku mansion, the most popular mansion in Zimbabwe. I'm talking of Miss V's mansion. So she just invited me to come for Africa Day, so I just say to myself, why can't I just do a video so that she can tell us about a relocation story, how she moved from South Africa back to Zimbabwe. She claims she moved from South Africa with nothing. I don't even know if that is true, but she's going to tell us everything. So one thing that I have to tell you guys about Miss V is she's doing quite a number of projects right now I've been corrected, that is not Dema, but it's Seke. So she's doing quite a number of projects from poultry, farming, and she's got also some other projects that she's planning to do here at her place. So she's going to tell us everything, like I said, and I hope you're going to enjoy and be inspired to move back to Zimbabwe. Welcome to the channel, Miss V.
Hi guys, my name is Miss V. I'm in my early 30s. I'm a mother of 2 boys. They're 2 grown boys, a teenager and an adult. So I'm based here, Kwaseke. I was based in South Africa for a long time, for more than 12 years. So when I say I was based in South Africa for 12 years, guys, it doesn't mean I was not coming home. I always come home. I used to come home, but I've been staying and based in South Africa for more than 12 years. So I've recently came back from South Africa. I'm now staying in the rurals of Zimbabwe, Kwaseke. It's about around 50 kilometers from Harare CBD up to here. I came back from South Africa with nothing, guys, with only my 2 bags because I was failing, getting broke, and life was not moving the way I wanted, So I just said, let me come back home. So now I am home. This is my home.
So you are saying that you moved from South Africa with nothing, with only 2 bags. What is it that you were doing in South Africa?
I did a lot of things. In fact, let me just brag a bit and say I was a business person in South Africa. So what happened was, I'm into beauty. I'm a beauty therapist by profession. So I owned salons. Let me say 4 salons. And then after that, my business kept growing, and I thought the salon business was too much for me. And then I started investing in Ubers. There was a time I also had 4 cars doing Ubers, but then I got broke, being a woman and then you're managing men, it started becoming a challenge. I still remember the other time when I was heartbroken, I had cars, and then when I was here, the other guy called me and said the battery has been stolen. They broke the front window, the driver's side, and they stole the battery. The other guy said I was driving along the other freeway, another main road, and then he hit cattle in the road. So I noticed that my losses now were becoming more than my profits, considering that they were cashing up equivalent to $100, which is 2,000 rand every month. And then if I consider now the price of panel beating, it was a lot. There was also another time, another guy had knocked engine knock a car, and then if I consider all those things, I realized the losses were becoming too much. Then I decided, let me start selling my cars. So I started selling my cars one by one until I had one, the red one, that small red one that I sold. No, it wasn't the last. I still have one left. So I started selling off my cars until I decided, I'm losing everything that I've worked so much hard for, so let me go back home. And then I came back home.
I've heard that you're a businesswoman in South Africa, running a lot of businesses, beautician, and also doing Uber business, which is something that is great for a woman, especially in a foreign country. So what happened? What happened for you to say, I want to move back to Zimbabwe? How did that mind come?
Okay, so I've always wanted to come back home. It's only that now when I came, I was not prepared. Because I always thought, you see, as I was growing my business, I never knew I was going to be broke like that. When I had many salons, my dream was to go home and open a big salon, you see. Even also when I had Uber cars, my dream was to come back and maybe own Ubers, maybe own Macombis. But then, I got broke when I was not ready, when I didn't expect it. So because I already wanted to come back home, then I decided, I can just go as I am. Let me go home, because I've always trusting myself in starting. So I decided, let me go home and start again, with the belief that whatever that I've built in South Africa, I can as well build it here at home.
That's one great thing coming from you, Miss V, that you are prepared to start again, which is something commendable, and I applaud you for that. Well done. So there's something that I want to understand. What is it that you're doing here in Denmark? Because from South Africa to come and say, I've moved back to Seke, by the way, it's Seke. What is it that you're doing here?
Okay, so far it's only poultry. I think you've seen there are a few birds there. There are a few chickens and a few, is it turkeys? Turkeys, mangarukone. So that is the only thing that I have so far. So every time I get a few dollars, like if I get $10, I buy a bag of cement. If it's a lump sum, like $45, I buy 1,000 bricks. That is why you see there are lots of bricks there. Because every time I get money, I buy something. Because you know how it is with money, especially if you're a parent. And also black taxi. Every time you have money, a problem comes. So I try as much as I can to avoid those things. So every time I get money, I buy cement. Every time I get money, I buy bricks. When my things are in bulk now, then I call a builder to come and build.
So what's the plan that you have with this place? Because I'm seeing that it's a very big place, and for just or maybe there's someone that we don't know of. Are you married?
No, I'm I'm not, guys. I'm not married. My husband died in 2012. I think that was another reason why I left for South Africa, because I wanted to take care of my kids. You see, I have 2 big boys now. They finished high school. I think the other one will start A-level, maybe next year if he passes now. Both of them are doing Form 4, because the other one failed 2 years ago and then he's rewriting this year. So I have 2 boys who are doing Form 4. But as for this place, let me be honest. My dream was just to build my house, stay at home, have a peaceful life, take care of my kids. But as you grow now, you see, and also ideas as you grow, as you mature, you start having a lot of ideas. Like I've been thinking, if I'm able to build my house, I've made it in life. But as every day I start having different, different ideas. So far, the ideas are a lot. It's just ideas. No money yet, but I have a lot of ideas. So I've been thinking to put huts, like those kitchen huts, those cultural huts for the Mashona tribes. That's what I've always wanted. And then another thing, you think, let me just work maybe and save up. Every time I get, like the way I've been saying, like if every time I get money, I can put bricks aside, cement aside. As time goes on, maybe I'll be able to build a house, a proper mansion, not this one. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm inspired for years. I'm really inspired because, this is something that many people, they don't do. People, they are afraid of coming back home because they don't have anything, like you are saying. Yes. So, vanofunga kuti amana kudzokera kuya, what are people going to say about me coming back? But I just want to understand something. How is life really in South Africa for many Zimbabweans? Now you are speaking on behalf of Zimbabweans. How is life in South Africa? How has it been for you?
Life in South Africa is not easy. Especially, I've noticed quite a very huge number of Zimbabweans, especially men, committing suicide because of depression. Sometimes they've got families, they've got black taxi, they've got a lot of things to take care of. Like, for example, a well-paid person in South Africa, if it's a man, let me say maybe 6,000 rand is about $300. $300 if they pay their rentals, let me say $100. And their food, maybe it's a husband, wife with 2 kids, that's about another $100. How much are they left with? Another $100. That's why they are removing money for their transport. money for bills like maybe electricity, water. Before they even get to airtime, their money is finished. We're not talking about parents back home. They've got siblings who are looking after, who are looking up to them. They've got maybe parents with high blood pressure. They want pills. So it's not easy. Let me just say, every industry in South Africa is not easy, especially if you're a foreigner, a Zimbabwean in South Africa without documents. Because even at a job that is you're supposed to get maybe $100, sometimes you get $50 because you don't have documents, and you can't complain. You can't complain to anyone. So life in South Africa is not easy. But because you people in South Africa look up to us, or people in Zimbabwe look up to us too much. Sometimes we can't tell you also our struggles. Like me, for example, I'm one person you never know that I'm suffering, because sometimes the people I'm supposed to tell, maybe they've got huge problems than mine. So sometimes I'll just have to keep quiet. So life in South Africa is not easy. Life in South Africa is not easy. That is why you see sometimes people cannot come back home, because life is hard.
Now, maybe if you can take me back a little bit, how did you acquire land here in Seke? Is it land that was given to you, maybe generational land? I don't know what they call it. Or maybe you bought the land here. How did you acquire this land?
So I'm a Mambo Seke's child. I like to break like that. So this is ancestral land? Yes. So I think the guys went and saw where our family is. Our Sekurus got this land for us. So as daughters, sometimes I would like to say maybe they sold for me. I don't know, because my brother made me buy beers for them to cut this part for me, because I also didn't want that way whereby I'm a girl child. Sometimes in the families, land is given to boys. So because I'm a girl, I had to beg for them to give me. And also the way they gave me, they told me you must buy beer for us. That is why I like to say I bought it. But this is our grandfather's land. My Sekuru, Baba, my dad's father. Yeah, he's the one who owned the land. So now we are just getting portions.
It's good that we have got mwana wa mambo, mzukuru wa mambo Seke. So maybe you're also going to answer on behalf of other people who always ask about how to get land in the rurals. How can you acquire land? Maybe you don't have all those connections that we have. Some, they don't even have relatives in the rural. How can you acquire land in the rural if you don't have all those connections?
So kuno kwa Seke, you can approach Masabuku. Toshikapana Sabuku chaipo Sabuku ka indro kubva kwakati ndokutsvaga land. Sometimes ndakambonzwa hangu in process yandakangonzwawo that Sabuku will ask you for a clearance later. Like from Ashingo, they can ask you for a clearance later that you don't own land there, number one. Number two, Weskwambuku, Masabuku. After that, they'll take you also to Rural District Council, because after Sabuku, there's a Rural District Council. Your name has to be there as well. This thing now, you will pay. You're not paying Sabuku for Mari. You don't pay for land here, but there are services that you need to pay for. For example, ndikupiwa hangu land emahara. Sabuku achalonesa zita rako ku Rural District. Of course, he wants transport fee. Saka uzotadzawo kubvisa. Obviously, Sabuku achadawo kudya lunch. Izvi zvingoro mupfungwa mako zvikuti wega unongofunga kuti maybe $30 inokwana for Sabuku. So ndozvinoitika kuno kwa Seke.
Okay, Ms. V, you have mentioned about all that, not paying for land, because people, they have got misconception when it comes to land in the rural. They think land is being sold in the rurals. I've heard people talking of Sabuku deals and all that, but thank you so much for clarifying on that land is free in the rural areas. There's something that I want to understand. What are some of the challenges that you faced relocating from South Africa to Zimbabwe, considering you say that you came to Zimbabwe with nothing? How was life for you when you moved to Zimbabwe?
Okay, so let me say, I'm not someone who is not even used to Zimbabwe, because I always come to Zimbabwe. I think every year I come to Zimbabwe, or after even every 2 years, I come home a lot. So I used to come back here a lot. So there's nothing really new for me in Zimbabwe. It's more like maybe I'm in Zimbabwe 1 month, And then 1 year I'm in South Africa. I know everything about Zimbabwe, so there's nothing really new. The only challenge sometimes is, let me just say, when I'm buying data, sometimes I don't know what to press. That is the only challenge. But on a serious note, nothing much so far. Sometimes, when you want to buy something and then you tend to change it and put it in rands, then you start thinking, 2,000 rands. 2,000 rands is a lot of money. But if you put it back in US dollars, you say, it's a small amount. So, yeah.
Svi, thank you so much for commenting on that. There's something that I also want you to comment on.
Okay.
What is it that you can say to those people who are thinking of relocating back to Zimbabwe, but they are hesitating, they are afraid of coming back, they don't even know where to start? Some, they are thinking maybe life in the urban areas is the life that they want. Some, they are thinking of relocating to the rural areas. What is it that you can comment on that?
Okay. So I'd like to advise them that you see the courage and the braveness they had when they left Zimbabwe should be the same courageous and the same braveness they used to come back home. At least when they were going, like when I first went to South Africa, there was nobody. There was no one I could look up to and maybe say, I'm going to my sister's house or my brother's house. There was nothing like that. What about coming back home when if I go hungry, I can go to my sister's house. I can go even to my uncle's house that I don't like. I can go to, we have lots of options back home, and you never sleep empty and, in an empty stomach, because we have lots of relatives here and it's our home. You know what home means? It means your problem are shared. You can't take care of your own problems by yourself. Unlike in other countries, you see people are dying from depression. People, they have no one to talk to. People can't share their problems with strangers. It's even hard. But back home, I think it's the best.
Miss V, I heard you talking about the fowl run that you built here, and also you're going to build a mansion. Maybe if you can just estimate for us, how much did you build that for?
It was 800 and something, around 860, 870. If I'm not mistaken, the last calculations I did, it was 835 before we added $36 for both doors. Yeah. So let me just say maximum was $900. And for the chickens, so with the chickens now, I started by buying the small chicks, and they didn't work for me because like I said, everything I'm doing in the village is my first time, so I didn't have much experience how to take care of the chickens. If it wasn't for the social media and YouTube, maybe none of them could have survived, but at least I still have 6 left. So, and also those grown ones, I bought them for $5 each, and then if it's the cock, I used to buy them for $10 each. Yeah, and then the peacocks, $25 each. So that is the current projects that I have now.
So one thing that I've also noticed is that when people, they are relocating, or when people are moving back to Zimbabwe, what they think of is a way to have water, maybe having solar systems, and also having boreholes. How are you doing it here?
Okay, so there at my neighbor's place, we call a gogo. She's the village thing. She's somewhere related to my sekuru, and my sekuru is related. So in short, we call a gogo. They have a well there. That's where that's where I fetch my water. And also we have a community bore between 300 to 400 meters from here. If that well is dry, that's where we go and fetch water. And then about electricity, I used to travel a lot, so I had a power bank. So my power bank, sometimes I take it to my Indian's house, at my late uncle's house, there to charge. It charges overnight, and then in the morning I use it to charge my phones. But recently I've upgraded and bought myself a $15 solar panel. So I'm doing well.
So I'm sure in the next coming 2 months, when we are going to be visiting again, I'm sure there will be a lot of changes, because I've noticed that you're also making your own well-protected well here. Yeah. And like you said, maybe the next time I'm coming, there will be a mansion and all that. Well done for doing all those things. But there's something that I want to understand, because nowadays when people they are relocating, especially from abroad or even from South Africa, is South Africa abroad? I'm not sure. Maybe you answer me on that one.
I just think it's diaspora, not abroad.
Okay, so when people are relocating from diaspora, the places that they want to go and live, in most cases, it's in the town. But nowadays, I'm seeing that people they have changed.
Okay.
They are planning on relocating to the rural areas. Yeah. Why is it like that?
As for me, I've never had enough experience with rural life. Like I've never properly stayed in the villages. I think the longest time I've stayed in the village, maybe if it's not a week, maybe 2. So I didn't have that much experience of the rural life. So everything I'm seeing is very new to me, and it's very exciting. I hope it's making sense. And also, when it comes to people from other countries, I don't want to speak on their behalf, but it's what I think, because that's what I'm doing also. Like, we've lived both lives. We've stayed in the location, we've stayed in the suburbs, we have lived the fanciest lives. So there's nothing new in Harare for us. I hope I'm making sense. There's nothing new. So sometimes you just want where you get your peace of mind, even with the little lifestyle that you have, but at least you have peace of mind. Like, for example, the way I was living in South Africa compared to here. People in South Africa, some they laugh at me and say, "Hey, why? Do you have a problem? Maybe it's depression," but it's nothing. It's just the peace of mind that you have. And also accepting that back home is where, I'd like to say, I want people to look at me and judge me according to what I have here. What you see here, that's my real life. The life that you see in South Africa, it's not mine, because I don't have South African documents. And if they ever think of chasing me away, what do I come home with? Nothing. The same way I came is the way I will come. But now the difference is, when I came home, I decided that I'm going home. Unlike when they arrest you, sometimes you don't even come with your clothes. So I think it's even better when you decide on yourself that I'm going home. Emotionally, everything is planned. You are ready to go back home. That's what I think.
I heard you talking about other people, maybe your friends from South Africa, judging you because of the life that you are now living in here in Zimbabwe, and the life that you are living in here. You are saying that's your reality, that's right? Life, yeah. Yes. So what did your relatives say when you relocated? Did they even comment anything about the relocation? Or maybe this is where they are also?
Okay, most of them are here. Like, I come from a very big family. I have lots of relatives in Zimbabwe, lots of relatives in South Africa, lots of relatives, let me just say, all over the world. Some they don't believe. And also, if you're into content, some people, they think everything you're doing for but deep down, that's your reality. And also because I'm in my early 30s, and also because my kids are grown. Sometimes you can't be in a country whereby you're even scared to go and buy bread because you'll be short. Because there are many people that you hear someone went to buy a tomato, then they are short, they are dead. So sometimes you just want peace of mind, That is why I came back home.
When you are living in the diaspora, you have got amenities that are very close by. Maybe you were used to just moving from, I think, around 100 meters, or taking a taxi to go and do your shopping in the malls and all that lifestyle. Okay. How is it like this side? Do you have amenities that are close by, maybe schools? Let's talk of shopping centers. How is it like this side?
Okay, so I'd like it's plus or minus the same. Because remember, also, if we're out of Zimbabwe, sometimes we go in gym. It's more like running. So I just take it as part of exercise. To me, it's honestly not a big deal. It's honestly not a big deal. I'm also an indoors person. Even if I'm in South Africa, before I started traveling, I'm a so much indoors person. I love my space. I don't like noise. I don't like music. Even with a TV in my house, sometimes it can stay even a week and it's off. There will be 1 or 2 times when I just say, hey, let me switch on this TV before it, So I'm not even worried about where I'll get my transport. And also going to town, I'm not a person who likes to move. Maybe I go to town once a week. So traveling 400 meters to where I get transport is not a big deal to me, because it's once in a while.
I'm here and I'm seeing a lot of things that are happening. I'm seeing bricks there and I've seen cement in our mansion. What is it that is happening here. I heard you talking about the mansion that is coming up, but with the bricks that we have here, is it something that is coming up very soon or what?
So I think I've got too much faith, because even when I came, even people who were seeing me carrying only 2 bags would ask me, V, what are you thinking? I'll tell them, you know what, I'm going to build, but I didn't have even money. So, like I said, with those bricks, what I wanted to build was a kitchen. I wanted to replace this kitchen, because when I broke it, people were complaining that, why are you breaking this kitchen? But because it had cracks. So my plan was to replace it and to use other bricks to build the toilet. There's no toilet here. And also other bricks to build mugodi. What is mugodi in English? Well,
Protected wall.
a protected wall. Thank you, Tari. So now the plan is changed. After building this run, I calculated how much I used. I was disappointed. But because it's a project, I understand it's an investment. But there was a time I was thinking, but I could have built maybe a 2-roomed house. Maybe I could have, sometimes I was thinking I could have built a 2-roomed house, and then I could have used that one as a fawora. It's just, sometimes the brain will just be spinning. So my plan was to build a house. I've always wanted a big house because I love people. I want to build a 5-bedroom house. One for me, two for my 2 boys, and the other 2 bedrooms for my visitors. I love visitors. I want people, especially people in South Africa. I have a big weakness for people in South Africa. Because there's a time people will be asking me, hey, we love your life. And I'm thinking, is this the type of life they are loving? This house they are loving? And other people will tell me, V, we really want to come back home, but we have nowhere to start. We have nowhere even to go and put our heads. So I want to give them that shelter whereby whoever that is going to come from South Africa, they know at least we can count there's V's place, they'll be comfortable, they can come and stay in that same house. In that same house I'll be staying, so that they feel at home, and be their first stepping stone. That is my plan. But I believe as time goes on, as we continue piling our bricks, when they are 7,000 now. When they get to 10,000, I think I'll call the builder now to come and start building.
So, Miss V, I think this is all that I had with you today. And thank you so much for opening up on your relocation journey. And I believe this story is going to help a lot of people who are thinking of relocating to Zimbabwe, but some they are hesitating because they don't even know where to start. They don't have anything, and they are afraid of being judged. But thank you so much. I'm sure your story is going to change their mindsets.
Thank you so much, Tari, for visiting. I'm really honored by your visit. Thank you so much. Oh, guys, so my YouTube channel, is it Yendo channel? My YouTube channel, guys, is the Miss V. Please come and subscribe to my YouTube channel, so that I'll be showing you every day my daily life at the village, how I feed my chickens, how I sweep the yard, just my simple life as someone who came back from South Africa with nothing. See you there.
So guys, this is all that we had for today, and I hope this video is going to change your mindsets when it comes to relocating to Zimbabwe. And like Miss V said, she's also a YouTuber, so you can check her on her YouTube channel, Miss V, and I'm also going to put her handle in the description below, so that if you're someone who is planning to move back to Zimbabwe, you can just go and see what she's doing in Seke. Maybe you might be inspired that it doesn't matter, you don't have anything, but that mindset of you planning to come back to Zimbabwe is something that matters. So don't worry, don't have depression while you are in the foreign land. Home is the best, and home is where you can find peace of mind. Up until next time, cheers.